works for you, and that's what works for me. This past week was exhausting to say the least. Oh, yeah, I start off that bit with, I'm the bank employee. Tales from the bank, like tales from the crypt. Yeah, this was the final week for most people in my office in the West Metro before they moved to another office, except not me, because I print checks and they can't move me yet. And it's like, okay. There were more things to find and could be claimed, and I claimed them because it was a rare opportunity. We ended up finding a storage room we didn't even know we had that I think was mainly for the branch. And there was one item I claimed where it's like, oh, my college roommate likes this sports team, so I'm going to give it to you if you want it. And I already got the checks back and said, yeah, I want it. It's like, yeah, I kind of expected that. And then we even had a potluck, and that was the same day where there was a rare courier pickup, and then I had to say to the courier, well, I'll have to move my plate because of the potluck. And it's like, well, what are we having today? And it's like, well, the plate was empty, is all I could think of saying about that one. But I take my work seriously. I wanted to see that the check was signed for because it was a high amount, and I believe in due diligence on knowing who took ownership, because that's one of my favorite words working in corporate America. Empowerment, evidence, and take ownership. And a lot of it is what I did and why I did it. Because you don't want things to bite you in the butt. If you've got all this to back you up, then you can go back and say, like, hey, I did my job. Might want to go back to that bank thing, because I know that there were other things. Oh, here we go, yeah. With all that on saying goodbye for now, I know I probably sounded overwhelmed to a senior leader, but it's like, well, the thing I kept saying about that is, I'm not a machine. I mean, sometimes you are going to feel overwhelmed, and you have to acknowledge that, and I did. And I figured it'd probably be getting easier eventually. I mean, now it's back to what it was like when I started there, because I started during COVID when most people were working from home. I pretty much had billing to myself except for the branch area. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can do with that, but I don't because I want to get my work done. I mean, some people would probably see it as an opportunity to take a skateboard down the rows of Cube Land or something like that. And it's like, yeah, I don't have a skateboard, and there are cameras everywhere, so they'd probably catch whatever I was doing that was not right, for lack of a better term. And I found things to do over the weekend too, even if it was mundane things like going to eat. I mean, there are still good stories to tell. I like going to Jersey Mike's. There are multiple reasons for that. Dan Vito doing their ad campaign, and then they got a good sandwich, and then whenever I go there, I get airline miles, so what's not to like? At least the one I go to, which is near MSP. But at this time, I saw something at Jersey Mike's that caught my eye, so I had to ask about it. There was this oversized hat that I saw behind the cash register. And then I asked an employee about that. It's like, can you tell me the story about that hat? And he said, oh, we have that for our giving month in March. And I liked what he ended up doing after that. He put the hat on! It's like, now I get why it's a ridiculous hat, but I mean, sometimes you've got to do things for show, is what I said about that. And no, I didn't get a picture of that. It was just fun that he even did as much as he did for me. And normally I give them just 4 stars of review. This time I gave 5. And it's like, yeah, I think that was worth 5 stars this time. That was more fun than going to a gas station and asking about Redbox. I knew that Redbox had filed for bankruptcy, and I just went back inside to ask them about the machine because it looked like the screen was blank. And it's like, well, I know that bankruptcy can mean a lot of things like reorganizing or liquidation, which is see ya. But in this case, if the screen is blank, it's like, oh, that means they're probably gone. And the conversation lasted longer than it should have. I ended up getting a lot of unsolicited advice from one of those cashiers. And it goes back to that old thing that I've dealt with before, where people say, well, you should do this or you should do that, and it costs money. It's like, yeah, if you think I should do this bad enough, then pay for it. It was in reference to saying you should get streaming services. And then I explained to him why I liked Redbox, and I would be sad to see it go because I only paid for it when I actually used it. Who wants to pay a monthly fee for something that you may not use all that much? It's like, grrr, yeah. Will I go to that convenience store again? Well, I could avoid it if I wanted to, so yeah, to be continued on that one. Ugh. And then, yeah, I climbed the water tower in Highland Park. I got a picture of Willie Water, their mascot. That was pretty cool. And then I went to a movie at Triathlon. I love classics there. And cheap popcorn and 7-Up, so what's not to like about that? So that'll do it for me. Thank you all, been great.